Let's see what type of music we can make using a voice crack.
Let's import the voice crack.
Let's see what... Jeez.
Let's crop the file so we're left with the crack.
Let's see what...
There's a pitch so we can tune it. Let's tune the sound and stretch it out. This is definitely going to be a guitar. Let's add a distortion plugin. Let's run it through an amp. Let's add some reverb.
Let's see what type of music we can make using CLANS.
Let's import the mortar. I never knew there was a wobble in the middle there. Then again, I use air armies when I attack, so I don't hear mortars that much. Let's crop our two sounds. We're left with this. Here's the mortar firing. This will be our snare. And we'll use the mortar landing as our kick. Now let's import the original heal spell sound. We're going to crop the file, and this will be our hi-hat. Let's pitch up the hi-hat. That beat sounds like this. Let's pitch down the snare. That beat's going to sound like this. Let's turn down the length of our kick. That's going to sound like this. Let's cut off our highs and lows so it sounds a bit more vintage. Let's add some reverb and a compressor, and here's our drum kit.
Let's see what type of music we can make using a sneeze. Let's import the sneeze. Let's turn the clip volume down. Shout out to Elliot for suggesting the sound, and also he recently released 3 guitar instrumentals up on Spotify. Go check them out. Let's crop the file, so now we're left with this. So now it sounds like I'm blowing my nose aggressively, which is kind of what a sneeze is. Let's cut off the low end for one sound, and for the second sound we're going to take away the high end. Let's crop the low sneeze, pitch it down and assign it to this note. Let's repeat the process for the high sneeze and assign it to this note. Should I even bother saying this step anymore? So now we can play We Will Rock You, except Freddie Mercury's got some kind of allergy problem. Let's see what type of music we can make using Super Mario. Let's import the thwomp sound. This dude always sounds like he's having a rough day. Even though then again, if I had to live in Bowser's Castle for 40 years, I probably wouldn't be happy either. Let's crop the file. Good thing about this sound is I can tune it. That's the note we're going to be using. So let's try and make that E ring out for as long as possible. So now we get this. Let's cut off the high end. Thank you guys for 2,000 followers on Instagram. Let's export it. Let's crop the file and let's set the root key to E. Let's run it through an amp. It's a bass. Of course it's going through an amp. Let's add some reverb. Now we got a bass. Let's see the type of music we can make using the Mario 1-Up.
Just go ahead and import this sound. Let's get rid of this sound too. So now that everything's been tuned, we're left with this. Well, that'll make your ears bleed. We're pitching this sound down 2 octaves. Let's grab a distortion plugin. Let's grab ourselves an amp here. Let's add some reverb. We're going to go pan this hard left. Copy tracking device. Paste it. Take this, do it hard right. Now we're left with stereo guitar.
Let's see the type of music we can make using asteroids. We're going to start off with the large asteroid. Let's cut off the high end and let's export it. We're going to isolate the middle frequencies of the medium asteroid. Export that. Let's isolate the high frequencies for the thrust sound. And let's export that file. I'm having so much fun doing this. Drop in the comments, what was your favorite video game growing up? If we're going by strictly Atari, I was a Millipede guy, which I believe that was the sequel to Centipede, if I'm not mistaken. Let's crop the asteroid kick, pitch it up and assign it to this note. Repeat the process with the asteroid snare, pitch it up and assign it to this note. Repeat the process with the thrust. I'm going to shorten the kick sound and have it fade out. Let's add some reverb. Final drum kit sounds like this. Let's see the type of music we can make using Tom and Jerry.
Let's import Tom's scream. Let's tune the sound. Let's crop the file. Let's run this through a gate. When you're working with a gate like this, you want to give it that all hawk tuh and spit on that thing. If you know, you know. Let's crop the sample. Sounds like this so far. Let's run this through a distortion plugin. Let's run this through an amp. Let's add some reverb, and here's our electric guitar.
Let's see the type of music we can make.
Get over here!
Using Mortal Kombat. Let's go ahead and import Scorpion.
Get over here!
Let's use a compressor to try and iron out the distortion.
Get over here!
Let's slow it down half speed.
Get over here!
So the "ge" in "get" is tunable. Here's the "ge" syllable stretched out. If y'all have a sound you want me to try to make music out of, drop them in the comments. Let's crop the file and set the root key to G. Y'all have seen this series for a while. Y'all know what happens when I add an amp. Let's add some reverb, and now we got an electric guitar.
Let's see what type of music we can make using Taco Bell.
Let's import the Taco Bell sound. This is going to be a challenge because I'm hearing 4 pitches and they're all coming at me in different spots. Let's isolate the low end. Alright, that low E is starting to come through a little more now. Let's add another EQ. Let's run it through a bass amp. We're going to export this sound. Now we can see the pitch. Now the sound's been tuned. If we take this sound up 3 octaves, 1, 2, 3, sounds like a chime. Let's add some high mids. Let's add some reverb, and now we can play Carol of the Bells.